bottom line is this: Panasonic. Wow, finally getting news in regards to Panasonic. Not just myself, but other researchers, YouTubers, whoever you want to call it, people in the community talking about things that seem like they were speculative when it came to Jasmy and Panasonic, and then to have confirmation from somebody like Hara was big, huge news. Well, if anything, let's take it to another particular update from the one and only Hara-san. Again, if Jasmy's your thing, smash the like. It helps the YouTube algorithm and even the X algorithm. So let's pull this up. Here we go. And yes, here it is. Hara. He mentions specifically Jasmy partnering with tech giant. Yeah, you've seen it everywhere. Panasonic to deploy its Web3 platform for connecting personal data with Internet of Things. Now, the news in regards to Panasonic is not brand new, right? This was the other day. But what is new is the Cointelegraph article. And of course, that's what I want to point out. So let's go ahead and take you over to that. And if anything, we'll blow this up a little bit more. And let's see how much more we can blow it up to make it just right. All right, 150 seems good. All right, so here, Panasonic teams up with Jasmy. The partners will offer a decentralized data storage solution based on Jasmy's personal data locker. Again, when you guys are watching this later on the chopped up version, please do yourself a favor and watch the I Trust Cyber Trust segment, because it'll give you a great example of, even though cyber trust doesn't seem as big of a deal as Panasonic, again, it's another huge thing because that ties in government. This, on the other hand, ties in a big, huge, brand such as Panasonic. But again, this is opening up the floodgates, in my opinion, in regards to Jasmy. So again, we're going to full screen this, point some things out. And yes, tech giant Panasonic partnered with Jasmy to roll out a Web3 platform. The new platform will be based on Jasmy's personal data locker product. IoT platform developer Jasmy and Panasonic Advanced Technology began their collaboration in February, but announced it on March 26th, which was yesterday. All right, it was big, huge news. The new platform will provide secure data storage and give users control over the access to their data, as well as improving processing and reaction times, according to the statement. This platform incorporates agile development methods into Web3 tech and develops with an emphasis on speed. We'll implement the public platform as an open platform, recruit users widely, and aim to use it in a wide range of fields. This part, recruit users widely. I mean, I like that statement. This tells me that it's not just, oh, we might get to the whole point of mass adoption. Panasonic wants to recruit users widely. Guys, think about this for a second. This is, of course, about Panasonic. What the heck happens in the future when, instead of recruiting users widely, you have an instance of, I don't know, the new Sony PlayStation 6 of the future? You know where I'm going with this. And you have, for instance, Sony PlayStation 6, and it mentions something like powered by Jasmy Personal Data Locker, teamed up with them and so on, in which basically, it's like people might use a PlayStation 6 and be connected also to the metaverse. You got to think, from a different point of view. Some people will say, well, I don't think, I know this is about Panasonic, but I want you guys to think about this. Some people, point out like, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, if anything, people already have, for instance, a Meta, an Oculus, or, Oculus Quest, and there's other ones. Again, is there only one metaverse? No, there's not. There's multiple metaverse platforms, as we know. You got to look at the metaverse from the perspective of kind of like you drive down the street and you see a big old, shopping plaza, and everything is being built, but there's nothing there yet. And you can see the signs that says coming soon, like Kentucky Fried Chicken or El Pollo Loco or where the case be. My thing is this: how in the world wouldn't Sony prefer to keep people on their platform? Now, hear me out on this. We'll come on back into this for a second. You may think I'm kind of, you know, getting off topic. It's not getting off topic because again, Panasonic opens up the floodgates. Cybertrust open up the floodgates. I want you to understand in regards to Sony, that could be huge because a great example of keeping everybody on the platform is X, the X platform, Twitter. Even me speaking as we speak, bringing this broadcast to you. All right, what is one thing I've noticed when I do a live stream? I noticed like I could put out a video on trying to get people to come from X and watch it on YouTube. A lot of people don't do that. They rather just stick on to the particular platform and stay there. My point is this: in the future, a Sony PlayStation 6, for instance, you can enable something in which people can still have the option to put on their VR headset and so on, but they're connected to, for example, maybe a Sony metaverse, for instance, and keep it there. Why would you want people to leave the platform? No, you want to keep people in that platform. Well, if that's the case, there's going to be a lot that is transacted in the metaverse. Well, if anything, don't get it twisted. A personal data locker, even on something like the Sony PlayStation 6 for the future, could be absolutely huge. Now, let's jump back to this for a second and understand these statements. So, recruiting users worldwide, or widely, like it says, I do think it's a big deal. And, the aim to use it in a wide range of fields, right? Again, not just IoT, finance democracy, and so on. This statement, Jasmy's Chief Financial Officer, Hiroshi Harada, aka Harasan, who uses the name Hara on social media, stated on X that the new platform would do what? It would be built in 3 to 6 months. Now, I'm going to be the type of person which, when I've seen other projects in the past state certain things, I'm like, okay, well, hopefully it doesn't get delayed. But I can appreciate he didn't mention a specific date. It's better to go with a time range than a specific date. And that's good. 11 hours ago, he says, Jasmy's Panasonic, right, begin the collaboration. And he's going to spend, they're going to spend 3 to 6 months building a platform that ties a personal data locker, a decentralized database, to the IoT and allows device information to be attributed to individuals and provided to, and of course, there's more. Panasonic Advanced Tech website. I mean, it's all interesting. That's like actually a pretty cool picture, in my opinion. But yeah, let's take you down to this for a second. So it says, according to the website, with the personal data locker, only hash values are managed on the blockchain, while data files are stored in a decentralized network. Thanks to the system, the storage capacity of single blocks and large file sizes are not an impediment to performance. I mean, we've seen this already, right, on the Jasmy's website. So, I mean, that's old stuff, but just kind of pounding it home. So yeah, guys, I mean, again, build as Japan's Bitcoin, Bitcoin in Japan, describes it on the website. Merchants pay Jasmy to use data stored by it and the data owner, Jasmy, as a reward. Paired with just about anything you could possibly imagine, not just IoT, but finance democracy. Now, in conclusion, excuse me. In conclusion, it's like this, all right? This whole thing about Panasonic is huge. It's nice to see something in regards to something that was speculative being confirmed. I've done this with Quant, and a lot of us in the community, we felt great about that because it's nice to be the type of guy that, you see the research being solidified, not by the community, but by people that literally either work for like Quant or Jasmy or whatever the case be, right? It's always a great feeling. But while it's a great feeling, understand the significance about all of this. And while we're all like, wow, Panasonic, that's a huge brand. And, it's a sense of euphoria. You got to keep in mind the significance about this. So why is it all really significant? I mean, in regards to the bigger picture, other than, hey, this is a cool partnership. Well, 3 main things I want to get into that is significant that I thought I'd bring it to you guys tonight. So for one, and let me just make sure the branding's on, it is. It's secure and user-controlled IoT data. Right, absolutely. The platform will leverage Jasmy's personal data locker. No kidding, right? And then some. Giving users control over their data generated by, of course, Internet of Things devices. This is a big deal in the age, of course, of privacy concerns, especially when it comes to, let's face it, Japan, because there's also the whole thing of potential data breaches. What about the whole thing of this Web3 integration with IoT? Well, say what you want. This collaboration merges decentralized databases, the key aspect, of course, of Web3, with the Internet of Things devices. Some people will say, well, doesn't things like Filecoin already do that? Yes. But you understand this. Like I've always mentioned, Jasmine to get a little piece of the Filecoin pie is huge in itself. And you're more than welcome to research a little bit more about um, Filecoin. And I did a piece on X recently that is a big deal in my opinion. But you got to keep in mind, this is in fact a major, major step forward in creating a more secure and efficient IoT ecosystem. Again, think about it. IoT ecosystem. So if I'm going to talk about things like Stellar and Sorobon creating their own ecosystem because of smart contracts and what they bring to the table, for Jasmy to sit at the forefront of IoT ecosystems, that's big. So now you have examples of what being part of the ecosystem. Panasonic, that's probably the biggest one that we could think of recently. So people say, well, Sony. Well, that's true. That's also true. Sony, Panasonic, but especially the whole thing of cyber trust. So again, more and more key players are coming into this ecosystem. You start multiplying all of this, and you know, some people say, well, you can't do that yet because we don't have these things into motion yet. Right, I understand that. But once we get these things, whether it's 3 to 6 months from now or by the end of summer, it will happen at some particular point. And then what happens? Do we see price shock because we actually see utility in motion? I think the answer is yes. As far as how much it's going to be worth, is MS right? $2 or more? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But all indicators show a green light at the end of the story in my book, because again, this is why we're excited about utility driven projects. So this other part, and this is not part of this particular segment, but it was at the very beginning of the show, and that is this: the potential for various applications. Now, I did talk about Sony Bank and a Sony wallet and connecting that blueprint, if you will, to like, patents that existed on that can be applied and used as a blueprint for what we have with the Super Wallet. Well, it's a huge, huge thing in regards to the potential for various applications. How so? The open source nature and focus on speed and development suggests that the platform in itself could be used in a wide range of fields. This opens the doors, and like I just mentioned, it is for innovations across many different industries, not even just IoT, even finance, like we mentioned before. Now, we did mention all this stuff in regards to Jasmine. We got to talk about how does this benefit Panasonic, because that's being fair. Three main things we need to get into in regards to that. So, enhanced security. This is why, in my opinion, Panasonic is jumping on board with getting involved with Jasmine. Panasonic's IoT devices can benefit from the secure data storage and user control features. Understand this: Panasonic is an old name. And while they're an old name, they're still a big brand. They continue to exist because they did what? They kept up with innovation. All key players and big companies that kept themselves actively involved with strategic alliances with big innovation survived. Obviously, Panasonic wants to survive. It makes simple sense for them to team up with Jasmy because they realize that, for instance, this is going to give them a leg up in the evolving IoT landscape. Yeah, very true. What about creating new market opportunities for Panasonic? Well, the open platform's wide applicability might lead to new business opportunities, of course, for Panasonic. So by them strategically aligning with Jasmy, that even makes more opportunities for Panasonic because it tells the world that Panasonic wants to keep their users' data safe by not having data breaches or respecting the intellectual property rights of just that, data in a place in the world where they're all about that. All right, this real quick. Back to the topic of Jasmy. What about the benefits in regards to all this for Jasmy specifically? And that's why most of you guys are here. Let's just be honest about it, right? Well, 3 things on that too. So it's the validation exposure. Say what you want. This is where Jasmy doesn't even have to advertise. Get what I'm saying? Because this product speaks for itself and it opens up the, it creates a snowball effect. You know what I mean? So validation, exposure, partnering with a tech giant like Panasonic validates Jasmy's technology and brings them exposure to, of course, a more wider audience. Say what you want. Word of mouth is still the best darn advertising, in my opinion, there is out there. This is a perfect example. What about real world use case? Some people say that this is the biggest deal of them all. Well, this collaboration provides a real world application for Jasmy's personal data locker, and it potentially will boost its adoption. I'm going to say it flat out. Of course, it's going to boost its adoption. It's going to open the floodgates. It already has. What about potential revenue streams? And this is where the big enchilada of what you've been waiting for. I think the answer is yes. It's going to lead towards more revenue streams and get us towards maybe these KPI targets. And even if we don't hit the $17+ KPI targets of 2026, keep in mind this. What if we hit like a quarter of it? I mean, that's big in itself, right? Some people say half. Some people think we will get to the goals. We're all mixed on this, but the platform success could lead to new revenue streams for Jasmy, obviously, and such as through data management or platform usage fees. Platform usage fees. Again, if you're watching this on the chopped up version later on, you owe it to yourself to go back to the Cyber Trust outline because that gives you an idea of platform usage fees by tying in the government. And again, that is just one of few examples. I think Panasonic opens the door, obviously, to other things. I think, obviously, Sony is at the forefront as well. But you got to keep in mind, guys, in conclusion, the partnership or this partnership with Jasmy and Panasonic has the potential to be game changer for both companies. No brainer, right? And it could significantly improve data security and user control in the Internet of Things space, while also paving the way further for other innovations in Web3 and, of course, IoT integration. Be on the lookout for Jasmy doing big, big things, especially when it comes to the end of this year. And in my opinion, they're going to stand out, especially at the height of the bull run, which, again, is just my opinion, 2025. Maybe this is where they get some of the reports in regards to the 2026 KPI target. I don't know. And my also main thing is understanding that Japan's fourth quarter is not our fourth quarter. So maybe they give us the reports then at the beginning of 2026, and that's what they mean by that. Some people pointed out, well, by 2026, this bull cycle will be over, and that's true as well. Take the information as you wish, do as you please. None of it's financial advice. I just provide you guys information and research. Some of you guys ask what cold storage solution I use. I use this, and it is the Decent wallet. All right. I also, of course, have a Ledger like this. All right. You can get a discount basically from going into the affiliate link, which is in all the live video descriptions and recorded and so on. And for the yahoos that are out there, they're like, this is just a shield. And, Will Fix pointed this out, and it's a great point. Were you aware that you don't necessarily get a discount link just going straight to the site? No, you actually have to go through a platform like this. So how cool is that? I don't think anybody's complaining about that. But anyway, use the link, get a discount. There's another one here. If you're the type of person you want to get one for you and your significant other, you can get 2 of them. They actually have another promotion, which is this, and I think this is cool. You can get an all-in-one card wallet plus backup card package. Interesting. I thought that was cool. And again, one of the main key things I like about the Decent wallet is not having to do the red tape of jumping through all the hoops for XDC and the custom folder. I mean, Edward Vincent can vouch on that. Some of you guys can too as well in regards to Ledger. That was a pain in the butt. You don't have that problem. You literally open up your phone, it's on your app, track everything that's going on, right? And, saying goes, not your keys, not your crypto. You know the drill. Check it all out, though, if you wish to do so. It is truly the cold storage solution that I use for the most part. There's still some on Ledger that, I kind of split it up on it and so on. So it is what it is. But if I have preference over one, I'm going with this one. A lot easier to use and so on. And some people, even to this day, still ask me which one to use.